Hey everyone, welcome. You actually have a grammar superpower, one you use every single day without even thinking about it. What is it? Well, it's the simple present tense. It's how we talk about our lives, our habits, pretty much everything. So let's get into it. All right, first things first, I've got a question for you. Just think about your morning routine. What happens every single day, the minute you wake up? Okay, so the first thing is you wake up, right? Your eyes pop open. It happens every day.
And then what? You've got to eat. Maybe some tasty poha or a hot paratha. You eat breakfast. It's something you do all the time. It's a routine.
And finally, you grab your school bag and you go to school. Now, did you notice something there? You wake up, you eat breakfast, you go to school. See? We used the same grammar trick in all of them. And that, my friends, is exactly what we're talking about today. The simple present tense. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What exactly is the simple present tense? Well, think of it as your go-to tool for talking about anything that happens regularly, like a habit, or things that are just always true, like facts, and even for stuff that's on a schedule. It's basically for anything that's part of your now and always. All right, part one, what we do every day. Let's break this down. First, we're going to look at how we use this tense for all the stuff we do over and over again. You know, our habits and routines. So think about it. What are your hobbies? What's your schedule like? Do you play cricket after school? Do you read books before bed? Yep, you use the simple present for all of that. Like we eat breakfast every day, total routine, right? Or I always practice on weekends. That's a habit. And check this out. Hadel goes to the pool every Thursday. It's a regular thing, happens every week. It's the perfect job for the simple present tense. Okay, on to part two, facts and schedules. Now, what's super interesting is that this tense isn't just for your daily grind. We also use it for things that are always true, like facts, and for stuff that's on a fixed schedule. Let's check out these examples. For a fact, something scientific that's always true, we say the heart pumps blood through the body. We don't say is pumping because it just does. It's a fact. We also use it for feelings, like they feel overwhelmed. And this one's cool, schedules, like for a train. The first train leaves at 4 a.m. Now you might think, but that's in the future. But because it's on a fixed, repeating timetable, we use the simple present. Pretty neat, huh? All right, part three, how to build sentences. So we know why we use it. Now let's figure out how to use it. How do we put these sentences together? I promise, it's really, really easy. Okay, the basic rule is honestly as simple as it gets. Subject plus the basic verb. That's it. So if the subject is I, you, we, or they, you just use the verb exactly as it is. I write, you play, they learn. See? Couldn't be easier. Okay, now listen up, because this is the one big rule you absolutely have to remember. It's the most important part. When we're talking about just one other person or thing, so he, she, it, or a name like Rohan, the verb gets a little s added to the end. It's like a little power-up. So I play, but he plays. They write, but she writes. We dance, but the baby dances. You see, that little s makes all the difference. It's super important. Moving on to part four, how to add not. So what if you want to say something doesn't happen? How do we make things negative? Well, we need to call in some special helpers, the words do and does. Seriously? Making a negative sentence is just like following a recipe. It's 4 easy steps. Step 1, start with your subject. Let's use he. Step 2, add do not or does not. And since it's he, we use
does not. Step 3, add the base verb. So, eat. Hey, wait a minute. Notice it's eat, not eats? That's because our helper word, does, already has the S. It did the work for us. Then, step 4, just finish the sentence. He does not eat too much. Boom, done. Simple as that.
Okay, part 5, how to ask questions. We can make statements, we can make negatives. Now it's time to ask questions. And guess who's back to help us? That's right, our trusty friends, do and does. Okay, let's start with a simple sentence. She knows baking. Right, that's a statement, a fact about her. But what if we want to ask if it's true? It's actually really easy. To make it a question, we just grab our helper word does and move it right to the very front of the sentence. And again, look, the S on knows is gone because does is doing all the work now. So it turns into, does she know baking? You just flip it around and you've got a perfect question. It's really that easy. All right, enough with the rules. Theory is great, but practice is where the real fun is. So let's put our new superpower to the test. I want everyone to picture a scene you all know really well, the morning school assembly. Let's describe it together. Okay, let's build the scene. What do you see? First, the students stand in rows. Simple enough. Now, what about the principal? The principal watches everyone. Ah, see that ES at the end? That's because the principal is one person, he or she. Then, a teacher speaks into the microphone. And look, up on the wall, the big clock shows it is 8 o'clock. Wow, we just described the entire assembly using the simple present tense. We just painted a picture with our words. All right, your turn to tell a story. You've learned the rules, you've seen how it works, we've even practiced together. Now the superpower is officially yours. It's your turn to be the storyteller. So here's my final challenge for you. Right now, or right after you finish watching this, I want you to just look around. What's happening in your home? What's your family doing? Maybe my mother reads a book, or my brother plays a game on his phone. Just try to describe the moment. Because grammar isn't some boring thing you learn in a textbook. It's how you tell your own story. So go on, give it a shot.